Yeah,
Astroworld is coming this Friday, finally. We've seen giant golden statue heads popping up in cities across the states. But anyway, let's take a look at the trailer for Astroworld.
Psychedelics got me going crazy. Niggas be mellow, they excelling. All the intelligence, we propelling. Up top of belly, kill the jealous. Propane repellent, got me going crazy.
Album number 3 for Travis. So 2 covers shot by David LaChapelle. We know he was down in Hawaii recently finishing this up. He's been working with Mike Dean. I'm pretty excited for this project. What are your expectations for this, coming off Birds in the Trap?
Well, I mean, I think Travis is already like a superstar, but I think this is an album that just cements him and also starts kind of writing his legacy. His previous albums, I think, well, first of all, the anticipation for this album, especially online, I don't even think I anticipated that, because like people have been like, when's Astroworld? When's Astroworld? You know, people want it when other albums get like talked about, be like, we don't care about that. When's Astroworld coming? Right. So a lot of people wanted it. I feel like this album, if he delivers, it puts him on a whole different level. And possibly like, you remember that leap that, I won't even use that analogy. You know why? Because I think it's just incorrect.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you remember when Future was doing his thing, and then like pretty much DS2 was a joint that just cemented him like, yo, he's just one of the top dogs. Like, I think Travis is already like one of the top dogs, but I think this particular album just puts him on another level if he actually delivers. Do I think he'll deliver? Yeah. I think the good thing about Travis is that he stays within his pocket. It's hard to miss when like you stay within your pocket. You're not one of the people that are like, oh, you know what, let me just start trying something completely new. Right. Of course, people want that, like a proper follow-up to Rodeo Birds in the Trap was pretty dope. I was definitely cool off Honcho Jack, but you know, we forgave him for that because it was just mediocre. But yeah. I think this could be the one. You know what I mean? He's a father now. We haven't gotten too much of him, so it's not like we're getting. There was a point like last year, right before Honcho Jack, we were getting drowned in the sound a bit. And I think now, the space is there for him to come back and drop a bunch of songs that could just dominate everything going on.
Yeah, like, I'm more looking towards like the whole visual experience, because Travis, his shows, we know that his shows are a big thing, but remember like the last tour he did, he had the eagle and shit he came out on and all that. He hasn't really missed with music. Like you said, like the Honcho Jack shit, it wasn't the worst, but it wasn't his best. My question is, where do we put him right now as far as artist? Because he's not a lyrical rapper, right? But he makes some of the best music there is. So now the way things used to be ranked, it was like, who was the better spitter?
Right.
I'm curious to know where you would think we rank him as far as artists in the game right now. Like, is he ranked amongst the Drakes and the Kendricks? I mean, now Drake is just a massive superstar. Kendrick is a massive superstar, but do we even put...
It's like the Kanye trajectory. So I never rank Kanye when I'm talking about best rappers, but like, of course, he's one of the best artists of all time.
Right.
Travis is like that, where he's sort of like creating the sound, creating the wave. Like, he doesn't miss. But to Wayno's point, you don't really go to him for lyrics necessarily.
Yeah, and that's why I try to make the Future comparison, because like Future, like, we don't look to him as like a lyricist or whatever, but we look at him as a great song maker, just a great musician. And we also acknowledge that he's a huge artist. I think that's Travis Scott now. And I mean, at this point, shoot, this might be the joint, like, if we're gonna have that like list where it's not just like lyricists, this is where Travis probably even takes a leap over Future.
But that's what I'm asking, like, where would you rank him as far as like artists right now? Like, is he top 5 in the game or top 10? I feel like he's definitely top 10.
Definitely top 10.
But where would you think he fits? Like, because, okay, remember when we was having the conversations about like the artists that run their space, right? Like, I feel like Meek runs his space, right? Drake runs the game. Kendrick runs the game in a different way. In Cole, right? Do we then put a Travis there? Because if we talking in terms of music, it's a lot of people that could probably rap better than him, but don't make better music than him, that could fit into that space. So where do you think he would fit? I'm asking both of y'all this one.
I feel like when this album comes,
That's really going to determine it?
Top 5, yeah. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't had a lot.
This is the only
recently.
reason why I'm saying I don't know about top 5 because like we get to forget how much dope artists like. Okay, so Drake, Kendrick, and Cole they got to be in it, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
already 3.
Right.
That's the thing, man. 3 spots already gone. Then you get the other 2 spots, and then you have a bunch of names that are floating around. You get like a Big Sean that floats around.
Really,
Shit.
Big
Right now
Sean,
in
not,
top
Big
5?
Sean is not still floating
love
around.
Sean right now,
But I
so
love
put it
Sean
out.
too, but don't do that.
I
Don't
didn't
do
say
that.
genocide, I'm just saying
Okay,
floating
but-
around.
no, it's not-
Y'all felt offended. It's not like I mentioned like.
Let's talk
I think
about
that's
right
just- I'm
now.
just a nigga that's doing his thing.
Nah,
But-
hold up.
But I mean, yeah, I think he's around that level. Also, Future got to be there, right? So Future is around that from like 3 to 7.
All right, wait, hold on. When we say top 5, right? Are we talking
No,
about people who are?
I started this whole shit, so.
Your criteria was not of just like lyrical talent.
No, it wasn't lyrical
It's
talent,
about
I'm just saying
dope music,
dope music.
artists.
currently,
but I'm
currently.
not putting. All right, because the first name, and I know you're not putting him at that spot. I'm saying the first name you said was Big Sean because it came to mind.
Throw out
That's
some
how
other
I feel.
names.
Like,
So you got Future.
I don't like how you laughing. I don't even like how you got a little laugh. Yo,
What
when
you mean?
Wayno finds something really funny, his eyes get all squinty. like he can't take that. Like he's about to cry or something. Like, what the fuck?
Well, stop. No, reason why I'm asking, right? Reason why I'm asking is because I feel like you gotta.
All right.
Let's talk about people who are putting out music now,
I'll
currently.
give a more expansive list, but that's what I'm saying. It gets more difficult because if we're going by that
It's a lot of
criteria,
artists.
shit, Cardi might be top 5.
Of course. Okay.
Right. Now, if we're saying Cardi, that's already 4. Cardi, Future, so that's already 5. Now, the other 5, I think Travis fits in it. It's like, is it towards the top half? Like, is it 6 to 7, or is it like 8, 9, 10? I believe like he's around the middle. I think this album probably even gets him to be in the top 5.
Yeah, it's like he's definitely gonna have a few hit records off this, right?
Yeah.
Like guaranteed. Clearly, he's gonna put a lot into the visuals, into the tour, the merch, the rollout plan. Like he's gonna make a big splash. It's not gonna be a
hold
quiet
on.
release, right? The impact will be there, and the numbers probably will be there as well.
I'm gonna tell y'all this though, because I've seen this play out so many times on like social media and just how rap fans and music, a lot of fickle music fans are built these days. Anticipation is like a drug in itself. When they get it, it's never what they want. Trust me. Like, yo, I thought it was gonna be better. I've name me an album where people were super anticipating it and it dropped. It was like, oh shit, it's better than I thought. It's usually like, and those albums usually grow on people.
But no, because at the same time, then you have the people that they're super anticipated about it, and it's the greatest thing they've ever heard.
So you're talking
Or it's
about
the worst
Akademiks?
thing
You're talking
they've
about
ever
Akademiks?
heard.
Those are dick
Drake
riders. No, usually I see a lot of people talking like they're anticipating it.
Yeah.
And some, you know, fans like just ride the wave. Oh, are we all just like checking for Astroworld? I've never seen this much Travis Scott fans in my life.
Really though?
All right, so like
Dead
with Travis
serious,
Scott,
I've never seen
with
it.
Travis Scott, when I didn't really like Travis Scott music when I first heard it, right? I wasn't big on his first album, even the rodeo shit. Like I thought it was cool, but the McKnight,
Birds in the Trap.
Birds in the Trap,
Yeah.
McKnight. I always say that shit because I always think of Biebs in the Trap when I think of saying Birds in the Trap. But that's the one that made me say, oh no, he's dead serious, right?
Right.
Now, I'm anticipating it to be him. How different can he be? Like he's always going to give you him. But my thing is that we don't talk about him when we talk about all these other people. And of course, we got to hear the music to then have that conversation going forward. But based on, he does good numbers, right? Like he does good numbers. He has his own fucking Jordan.
Right.
All these different things. Do we start throwing them in those lists? Because people really don't throw him in those lists.
Well, I mean, I think this album, he's gonna top all the other albums in terms of numbers, and of course, like that's part of the anticipation game. If he comes out with, and that's the thing, right? So he's always, some artists that they have like, they're always on the charts. They always have those songs. Like that was Amigos for a while. They always had songs that were hot, but we didn't like recognize their wave. You get me? And really, Culture 2 was the time that, of course, some songs before Bad and Bougie, blah, 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 whatever. And of course, they're impacting, assisting other artists. That's when we're like, oh shit, the Migos are like a fucking, like, a thing. Travis Scott, it was really, I would say probably around, at least for me, and I could be wrong about how others look at it. When Birds in the Trap dropped, I think that's when people start really acknowledging, like, oh shit, like the Travis sound is here to stay. It's not just a thing that was gonna come and go. But now this is the one that just really supposed to take him up.
I think I'm with you. After Birds in the Trap, because the mixtapes were also dope. I did like Rodeo, I like Birds in the Trap better. I was like, all right, he's here forever. But like, you're right. This one could take him to number 1. You know what I mean?
Ak is like the dude in Pootie Tang. You ever seen Pootie Tang before? Remember the guy that was like, man, it's hot in here. And he was like, yeah, it's hot too. He just said exactly what I said. Like.
So we're agreeing on this, right? We just couldn't figure out the top 10 placement situation. But yeah, but look, Wayno has all these movie references just like in his
You got
head.
the shit with like the crackhead Chris Rock or something?
No, it's the joint with the dude where he got the belt. He be hitting everybody with the belt and shit. No, the reason I said that is
Wayno,
because
you gotta give me a VHS collection. I gotta watch it.
I don't have DVDs, though, let alone
It's on
VHS.
Netflix?
Yo, it's Pootie Tang on there. It's on Apple
It's somewhere
TV.
streaming.
Oh, is
It's
it?
somewhere.
Yeah, it's where, you know.
I'll watch it.
All right, so
I've heard it being referenced a lot of times.
in summary, we're all looking forward to Astroworld. I'm definitely
Looking
listening to
forward,
this.
yeah.
I'm like, I understand your point about fickle fans is 100% true, but I really can't
Watch
wait to hear
social
this.
media the night it drops. It's
I
gonna be
don't
2
know, man.
reactions. The Dick Riders, oh my God, this is the best shit. I'm not gonna lie, when Uzi shit drop, that might be me for the first night.
Oh, he just called himself a dick rider?
Uzi shit, like I'm a Uzi stan low key. For me.
Whoa. But,
Now, for like a lot of people who are just like following the wave and who really don't like get him and like his sound, they're gonna be like it's overrated.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have ever met Travis, especially earlier in his career. He's very interesting. Comes off like a little bit shy, and I can't like describe it exactly, but it definitely seems like he's on his way to being like an ultra socialite as well.
yeah,
He's come a
met
long
him a
way,
few times.
just in
I used to-
general, you know?
He used to do stuff with Reebok. I was a brand ambassador for Reebok. So I worked with him on a few events like, shit, that was like 2013.
Yeah, it's a minute ago.
And completely unrelated, like he's one of the reasons why ugly niggas are winning. He back high. That's a fact. That's
Okay.
100% fact.